Welcome to your dinosaur dreamscape. Let's begin with Therizinosaurus. Close your eyes and imagine a dinosaur unlike any other. Therizinosaurus wasn't built for speed or power, but for mystery. With enormous claws, nearly 3 feet long, these were the longest claws of any known land animal. But don't worry, they weren't used for hunting. Therizinosaurus was a herbivore. Yes, despite its terrifying talons, it gently plucked leaves from trees, maybe using its claws like chopsticks. In the quiet forests of the late Cretaceous period, that's about 70 million years ago, fossils were first found in Mongolia, and when scientists discovered them in the 1940s, they thought the claws belonged to a turtle. Isn't that fascinating? Therizinosaurus grew to around 33 feet long, with a pot-bellied torso, long neck, and tiny head. It walked on 2 legs, with feathers. Yes, it had feathers. A big, fluffy, plant-eating giant. It went extinct about 66 million years ago, at the end of the Cretaceous, just like the T-Rex, in the same massive extinction event. Imagine it now, lumbering slowly through ferns, long claws dragging softly along the leaves, peaceful, silent, gentle, soft brushing sounds. You're safe here. Let's move on to our next dino dream. Part 2, Amargasaurus. Next, let's float back to South America, to a time over 130 million years ago. Meet Amargasaurus, a small sauropod with a big surprise. Amargasaurus lived during the early Cretaceous period, long before T-Rex, and far smaller than the long-necked giants you might know. But what made it special was its spine. 2 rows of tall, backward-facing spines ran along its neck and back. Some believe they were covered in skin, like sails. Others think they stood free, like jagged spikes. Imagine that, a sail-backed herbivore moving slowly through misty forests, each step a gentle echo through time. Amargasaurus was about 30 feet long, modest for a sauropod, but still massive compared to you and me. It belonged to a group called Dicraeosaurids, with shorter necks and heavier builds. Not as towering as Brachiosaurus, but sturdier, more compact. Its fossils were discovered in Argentina. Part 3, Pachycephalosaurus. Let's stay cozy and gentle as we whisper about Pachycephalosaurus. This dinosaur lived during the late Cretaceous period, around 70 to 66 million years ago, in the lush lands we now call North America. Its name means thick-headed lizard, and it was named that for a reason. Because at the top of its skull was a dome of solid bone up to 10 inches thick. Just imagine knocking on it. Don't worry. In your dreams, it won't mind. Some believe it used this bony helmet for headbutting rivals like rams do today. Others think it was for display, or maybe just a big, protective crest. Pachycephalosaurus was a bipedal herbivore. It walked on 2 legs and had small arms. And it wasn't very large, maybe about 15 feet long. light and nimble, a forest wanderer, always alert. Its teeth were tiny, not made for tearing meat, but perfect for snipping soft plants and maybe fruits as it roamed peaceful woodland paths. Its fossils are rare, mostly just fragments of that thick skull, found scattered across Montana, Wyoming, and Canada. Some scientists believe there may be other dome-headed species that were really just Pachycephalosaurus at different ages. It disappeared in the same great extinction 66 million years ago. But tonight, it wanders with us still. A shy creature, bobbing its head as it walks through quiet undergrowth, its footsteps soft, its world dappled in green and gold light. Soft leaf rustling sounds. Feel the calm. Breathe with it. Now we drift forward to our next dinosaur dream. Part 4. Changosaurus. Now, let's explore a cousin of the T-Rex, but with a twist. Say hello to Changosaurus. This dinosaur was discovered in China and lived during the late Cretaceous, about 66 million years ago. Its nickname is Pinocchio Rex because of its long, narrow snout. Changosaurus was part of the Tyrannosaur family, but it looked quite different. It had a more slender skull and was built for agility, not brute strength. It likely hunted smaller, faster prey, using speed and precision rather than crushing force. It measured about 30 feet long, with long legs and sharp teeth. Quick, quiet, and clever. Part 5. Leaellynasaura. Now we travel south, far, far south, to the icy forests of what is now Australia, to meet a tiny survivor of the cold. Leaellynasaura. This small, feathered dinosaur lived during the early Cretaceous, about 110 million years ago. Unlike its tropical cousins, Leaellynasaura lived in a polar forest where darkness lasted for months at a time. It was only about 3 feet long, light and nimble, with a beak, large eyes, and a tail nearly 3 times the length of its body. Its name honors Leaellyn Rich, a paleontologist's daughter who must have loved dinosaurs just as much as you do. Leaellynasaura had amazing vision, with eyes adapted for low light, helping it see in the dim twilight of ancient polar nights. Imagine it now, darting silently between snow-dusted ferns, fluffy feathers catching the glow of an ancient aurora, a ghost of the forest, gentle, swift, and alert. It likely ate soft plants, and maybe insects. It lived in family groups, huddling for warmth through cold seasons. It was smart for a dinosaur, with a relatively large brain, for learning, for remembering, for surviving. And though the polar climate changed, and the world warmed and shifted, Leaellynasaura faded into history. But tonight, it wanders, still chasing shadows under the stars. Let's tiptoe now to our next gentle dinosaur, Part 6. Concavinator, soft clicking sounds. Have you ever heard of Concavinator? It's time to meet a dinosaur with a hump. Concavinator lived about 130 million years ago in what is now Spain. It was a theropod, a meat eater. related to the fearsome Carcharodontosaurs. But unlike most, Concavinator had a strange hump, a raised ridge above its hips. Its purpose is still a mystery. Was it for display, for storing fat, or something else entirely? This dinosaur was about 20 feet long. It had strong legs, sharp teeth, and maybe tiny quill-like structures on its arms. Yes, the first hints of feathers. It hunted smaller dinosaurs, and maybe fish or reptiles, moving with purpose, stalking through dense undergrowth, its hump catching rays of morning sun. Fossils were found in Las Hoyas, a beautifully preserved site in Spain. Concavinator's skeleton was almost complete, a rare gift from time. It reminds us that evolution is full of surprises. Not all dinosaurs were built the same. Imagine it now, the quiet thump of padded feet, the swish of a tail behind a leafy fern, the gleam of that strange, beautiful hump, soft tapping. Now close your eyes, we continue. To another secret of time. Part 7. Magurosaurus. Let's shrink down now to a tiny titan, Magurosaurus. This dinosaur lived about 70 million years ago on what was once an island in the Tethys Sea, now known as Romania. It was a titanosaur, but very small, only 20 feet long. Because it lived on an island, it evolved to be smaller, a phenomenon called island dwarfism. Magurosaurus had a long neck, a sturdy body, and a gentle gait. It likely moved slowly through fern-filled clearings, nibbling leaves from low branches, and watching the waves crash in the distance. Its bones were dense, its legs thick, built for strength, not speed. Discovered in Transylvania, this dinosaur might have inspired old myths of dragons or giants roaming misty forests. But this gentle soul was peaceful, and when the tide of extinction came, it vanished quietly. But tonight, you can walk beside it once more. Deep ocean, wind, sounds. Let's continue our sleepy journey. Part 8. Zalmoxes. Next in our journey, we meet a small, curious creature. From the forests of ancient Europe, Zalmoxes. Zalmoxes lived during the late Cretaceous, around 70 to 66 million years ago, on the ancient island that is now Romania. It was an ornithopod, a small plant-eating dinosaur, only about 6 feet long, light, agile, and alert. Zalmoxes was named after a Dacian god, a divine protector in ancient myth. A fitting name for a little survivor of ancient forests. It had a beaked mouth, perfect for clipping tough leaves, and strong hind legs for running from danger. Imagine it now, rustling softly beneath the ferns, pausing to sniff the breeze, ears perked, eyes wide. It may have lived in groups, nesting together, raising young in safety, always watching, always listening. It belonged to the rhabdodontid family. Primitive, but successful, lasting long into the Cretaceous. It disappeared with the others. In the Great Extinction. But tonight, it lives again, in your dreams. Gentle footsteps fade. Now drift onward to the next island soul. Part 9. Nothronicus whispers slowly. Now, let's step into the deserts of ancient North America and meet a gentle weirdo. Nothronicus. It lived around 91 million years ago in what is now Utah and New Mexico. Its name means slothful claw, and that fits it well, like Therizinosaurus. It was part of the Therizinosaur group, a line of bizarre, plant-eating theropods, covered in feathers, with giant claws and long necks. Nothronicus was about 13 feet long. It had long arms, huge claws, and a soft, rounded belly. It moved slowly, deliberately, nudging leaves aside with its claws, choosing only the tenderest greens. Fossils were found in the Zuni Basin, and they puzzled scientists at first. A meat-eater turned plant-eater, a predator's body with a herbivore's soul. Imagine it now, moving carefully through the underbrush, claws raised, not to strike, but to gather. A peaceful beast in a harsh land, teaching us that change is natural and sometimes beautiful. Leaf rustling and soft plucking sounds. Let's float onward one more time. Part 10. Halszkaraptor whispers with wonder. Our final dream tonight takes us into the water, to a dinosaur like no other. Halszkaraptor. This strange little creature lived about 75 million years ago. In Mongolia, it looked like a dinosaur, moved like a bird, and swam like a penguin. Only about 3 feet long. It had flipper-like arms, a long, flexible neck, and sharp teeth for catching fish. Halszkaraptor was a dromaeosaur, related to Velociraptor, but it lived in water, diving and paddling in ancient lakes. Its name honors Halszka Osmolska, a pioneering paleontologist. Imagine it now, gliding beneath the surface, long neck weaving through aquatic plants, eyes sharp, tail steady. It might have waddled awkwardly on land, but in the water, it danced. A raptor of the shallows, graceful, serene, and quiet. It vanished with the others. But in this dream, it swims on as your breath slows, and the night wraps you like a warm fern forest. Let's gently remember the wonders we've wandered with. We met Therizinosaurus, the clawed giant with a heart of leaves. A Margosaurus, with sails rising through ancient mists. And the dome-headed Pachycephalosaurus, gentle in its forest stroll. Then came Chianjosaurus, the slender-snouted hunter. Leaellynasaura, darting through polar twilight. And Concavenator, proudly humped and feathered. We tiptoed beside Magyarosaurus, the island titan. Caught a glimpse of Zalmoxes, nimble and bright-eyed, and admired the strange, slothful grace of Nothronicus. Before diving into dreams with Halszkaraptor, the swimmer, each one a silent song from the past, each footstep a lullaby for the earth. Let their spirits settle gently over your dreams. Let their stories carry you softly to sleep, and let your heart beat slow to the rhythm of deep time. Quiet wind, distant bird calls, soft breathing. Sleep now, little paleontologist. The Mesozoic moon is high, and the dinosaurs are keeping watch. Good night.